Hello everyone, this is the Volkswagen Id.7 Tourer Pro S with the big battery. 91 kWh, 86 kWh can be used. Rear wheel drive and 19-inch wheels on, so it's an amazing efficient car, except that it's a Tourer. The sedan would be a bit more efficient. I'm gonna do a range test at 110 kilometers an hour now. I'm charging it to 90% and then we go. I just did 130 kilometers an hour range test and achieved 387 kilometers, but it was cold, 4 to 9 degrees. It's now getting warmer, that's awesome. I can use less heat and that means lower consumption, that's awesome. So charge to 90% and then we go. And here we go again. I'm driving 113 now. Again, 3 kilometers faster than what I want to drive, because that's what the speedometer shows more than it in reality it is. I charged to 90%, started at 90%. The car says I have 385 kilometers of range, 10.5 degrees out there. That's heat for today. I turned my heat down to 21 degrees, fan 1. I don't think it's using too much. That's nice. I'm in eco mode. What else do we have? I think that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm at 80%, used 10% of the battery, drove 52 kilometers, so full range 520. Consumption is amazing, 156. I have the heat on, but only at 20 degrees, so and fan 1, I don't think it's doing too much. And we have 11.5 degrees out there. Not sunny right now, it's pretty busy. A lot of traffic. I have to pass a lot and drive a bit faster. That's what happens. That's usually what happens. And he's passing on the right. That's not good. You get a lot in trouble when you do that. And just going out. I drove around 100 kilometers in almost an hour. And driving is nice. I didn't talk about how the car drives at 130 because it's the same as my Id.7. From the Tourer and to the Pro S, I don't notice anything. I only notice with the 20-inch wheels the comfort, but this car has 19-inch wheels, so there's no difference. I don't feel anything. And of course, noise level, why would it be different if you have a different battery? So everything is amazing. I have self-steering on. In the Tourer that I had once, the Pro with ID software 5.0, the self-steering, the steering assist was a bit weird, but it's totally fine. It was just this car. Here it's totally okay. I have noticed it in an ID.3 GTX that had 5.0 on. It was fine. So no, it's great. On the country road it's already good, but of course on the highway it's a bit better because there's less to do. And it's very precise. It keeps me in the middle. It doesn't bug me. Notices my touch. It's just awesome, and it always has been that way. I love Volkswagen steering assist. I had to turn the heat up to 22 degrees and the seat heater because now it's 8.5 degrees again. It's cloudy, foggy up there. Ugh. Where's the sun? It was way better. And now I turned around. I'm on the way back, so I'm on the way to driving south now, and then in Deckendorf I drive towards Munich as always, and it's way less traffic here. On the other side, to going north, it was so busy so many times I had to slow down and then accelerate because people are so many cars. I had to get out and drive by the car I wanted to pass. It was a bit stressful and annoying. So far here on this side it's better. It's still busy, but not as much as on the other side. I'm at 65%, used 25% of the battery, and I drove 133, just switched 133 kilometers. That's 532 kilometers full range. Consumption, it's still around that 150 number, 158. Average speed is amazing. Finally a bit warmer, but still no sun. That Regensburg is really cold. Let's see how Munich is. I'm gonna go to the direction of Munich, turn around at some point. I wanna arrive back at the charger with around 20% and around 2 o'clock, because then I worked 8 hours, and till I'm home it's then 8.5, 9 hours almost. But it's Sunday, I have to get a lot in, that's fine. Turn around, I'm on my way to the charger. It's 113 kilometers. I have 224 kilometers of range. I might have to drive a bit, 21% it says I arrive. That is maybe a bit too much. Maybe I have to go in the direction of Regensburg again. I had to turn around here because then there's a construction zone with 90, and then my whole consumption is wrong because I'm not driving 90 here. Nice drive, audiobook is good. Andrew Agassi's biography, very interesting. I played tennis when I was young. I was never good. I was okay, and I was never into it. He was never into it. He hates tennis, and I get why. It just felt like a waste of time for me. But I also, again, I wasn't amazing like he was. If you want to record what you spend every month on your EV, all of your trips and all of your charging sessions, your AC to DC ratio and the average consumption that you have on your trips, then check out Tronity. Tronity connects to your car, a lot of brands are supported, and in the app or in a browser you can see all of this data. They also have a 100% tax compliant driver's logbook. My viewers get 25% off if they use the link in the description below. Arrived with 19%. Drove 378 kilometers. Google Maps says it's 380, 158 watt-hours per kilometer is my consumption. So if I take the 380 kilometers and drove from 90 to 19%, I get to 35 kilometers or so. Now it's 14 degrees warm. When I started it was 10.5. I think it was 8.5 in between. It was the coldest temperature, but it was a good drive. I'm pretty sure good average speed. I would say almost no heat, maybe 10, 15, 20% where I used the heat. Other than that, I didn't need it. But it was a great drive and it was a lot of fun. Let's compare this result to other cars. So our Pro S Tourer reached 535 kilometers range at 8.5 to 14 degrees with 20% heat at 21 degrees and 19-inch wheels. This is really important. I tested the Id.7 Tourer Pro, so the smaller battery, with 452 kilometers of range. A bit of higher consumption because I needed First of all, the AC at 21.5 degrees because it's 26 to 30 degrees outside, which is still okay. But again, this had the 20-inch sport tires on, and that's 10% higher consumption just because of that. That's really bad. You don't want that. The sport tires, I don't see an advantage to this. So the consumption would be lower and the range would be higher. My Id.7 at really cold temperatures, -2 to +2 degrees, with heat at 23 degrees and no heat pump, got 389 kilometers of range. This is not good, but again, very cold and a lot of heat. Another Id.7 with the 20-inch sport tires that I had reached 426 kilometers and good consumption, look at that, but it was 17 to 21 degrees. An Id.4 Pro 412 kilometers and Id.4 GTX 398 kilometers. And here it's important, we have less range even though it's 15 to 22 degrees than the Pro with 4 to 13 degrees with heat, but both of those cars had 21-inch tires. So the 535 with this big battery at these conditions was really good. In the summer it should be even more, up to 550. When it's still warm, when you don't need heat and above 20 degrees, that should be no problem at all. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below, and here on YouTube there's also channel membership. And if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching, have a great day and take care. Bye!